What's
So
cracking, big
cool.
dogs? Welcome back to the channel. This is Bunkbed Breakdowns, and we got a whole new thing running. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if we have an intro, but we're gonna hit it later on. We're basically just pulling from our Patreon in the Discord channel. If you guys want to talk football with me, whether it's just football in general, player values based on my rankings, trade talk, or roster review, that's what we're gonna be doing for these next few weeks. Hopefully into the offseason as well. We got our first guest on the show today. I don't know if you want your name out there, but he goes by Brownie in the Discord. He's an absolute G. He's a Lions fan, though, and I'm a Chargers fan, so a lot of L's being taken on this side of the call. So we kind of have a mutual understanding for each other, but this first episode, I think we're going to just combine the three into one big episode. I'm not sure we're going to chop it into three separate things, but this one is just going to be player discussion, looking at player values in my Dynasty rankings and talking shit about guys like David Johnson and Marquise Brown. So before we get into that, Mr. Brownie, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I think this is a great idea. Thanks for having me on. Be cool, like connect with everyone, see everyone's opinions and fantasy.
Yeah. There's only one opinion about David Johnson around here, though, and we're going to get to it a little bit later.
Hey, man. Hey, he's doing all right, man. He's doing all right. It could be worse. Hey, and like with all the running backs going down, I think that David Johnson's looking pretty good right now. It's like COVID. The first time you go to the bar, everything's gonna look good, man.
Yeah, the best ability is availability. So I think it's time for you to do the honors.
Hey, yo, run that intro. All right. I heard there was on the fantasy football app, there had like the Twitter, like 4 people on a Zoom chat, and the lady's like, hot or not, and she's talking about how Jared Goff is trash. And I'm like, first of all, they're 4-1. And whether like you could be a good quarterback and be bad at fantasy, and you could be good at fantasy and then be losing all your games. Let's get real. The Rams are 4-1, and he's ranked 4th for completions. So like if I didn't know any better, like when I first started fantasy, like I used to like really rely on a lot of the mainstream info out there. And like when someone says that was trash, like it would really like throw me off the rails on a player. But I feel like there's a lot of opinionated content out there now. But I think with like fantasy, it's hard. We have to like categorize like how we're like a good like Miles Sanders, amazing, but he's on the Eagles offense.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson, I traded him away. First week 1, 40 points, he's out in the 4th quarter. And then if he's really MVP, you shouldn't be having too many bad weeks in a row. Jared Goff had one dip and then, back to 36 points. But I don't know, man. I got a lot of heat for my trade, but I feel like what do you think about Lamar and what do you think about the QB landscape now? Like there's a lot of QBs running, there's a lot of QBs throwing up huge numbers.
It's a one quarterback league you're talking about?
Yeah, 1 quarterback league, 14-man league. So like, if you don't have like a top when I drafted, I'm like Lamar had 100 more points than like the top 10 quarterbacks, and all the games are by 120 to 125, 160 to 161. So that 100 extra points that QB could offer you is like the difference between winning and losing your league. But I felt like I drafted Lamar in the 3rd, and now I'm like, that was a waste. Everyone's putting up huge numbers.
Yeah, the quarterback landscape is definitely a bit different. I know this past week, I'm not so sure when I'm going to upload this, but this past week we just saw Ryan Tannehill go fucking bananas and put up 4 touchdowns in like 20 attempts. I think it just goes to show that like a guy like Lamar Jackson, although it's not happening too much this year, you can be extremely efficient on like a lack of pass attempts, and those lack of pass attempts make people want to shy away from those quarterbacks. But even like Jared Goff this year, he's not throwing a whole bunch. He's throwing a lot of touchdowns on those limited attempts. And as you said, going back to a guy like Tannehill, if you can run the ball too, it doesn't even matter how many times you're throwing the ball, because if you can add 40 yards on the ground, it's a 4-point per passing touchdown league. That's just an additional touchdown.
Run.
Just keep fucking running. And as for Lamar Jackson this year, I was looking into what the Baltimore Ravens are doing this season. And it's kind of strange because, as you said, like week 1, he blew the fuck up and they just blew out the Cleveland Browns. Ever since then, it's kind of been a shit show for him. They're actually averaging like 10 less plays per game than last season. their time of possession went from like top 3 to bottom 3 this year. I think they're just relying on the defense. They're just mixing in players because they know that they're not really playing for the regular season. They're more so setting up for the postseason. I think that's also apparent with J.K. Dobbins because like it doesn't matter who they put behind Lamar Jackson. They're going to average like 5-6 yards a pop. So I just think this is an offense that to this point hasn't really lived up to their potential because they haven't had to. When you look at the teams that they've played, they've like all been garbage. But going forward, they get like Pittsburgh, they get a few other really good matchups. I think Lamar Jackson is in for a big stretch upcoming.
Yeah, I think he's like ranked like 27th in pass attempts, but they're still winning, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's hard, man. So all right, man, what do you think, David Johnson? Because I traded him away. I got who did I get?
You could have gotten like anything. You could have gotten Adrian Peterson. I would have said, yeah, I love that deal.
Well, I thought David Johnson had his first 3 weeks were tough, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like supposed to get better now, but I don't know. I think with the new head coach, it might get a little bit better, but like like I was looking at bye weeks, I was looking at running back depth. Like when you got 14 guys who all know what they're doing, like David Johnson in your flex, when it's slim pickings and the running backs are dropping like flies, and
Yeah.
then everyone's outperforming Lamar, I'm like, I'll take him. I'll take him. And I had Melvin Gordon too, so I traded away Melvin Gordon and Lamar for David Johnson and I think Raheem Mostert or something like that. And I got a lot of heat for that trade, but it's worked out. Melvin Gordon's gone. Lamar's like not even top 10, so there it is.
Yeah, I like the Mostert part of the deal. Mostert's always like sneakily undervalued. I forgot how good he was in the playoffs last year. He had like that 4 touchdown game against Green Bay. And then last week, coming back after an MCL injury where Jerick McKinnon was the workhorse, he had like 3 touches. Mostert went out there in a blowout and put up like almost 100 yards from scrimmage. So I like that part of the deal. David Johnson, it's tough. I know a lot of people know that I don't like him, but when you trade it for like Melvin Gordon, who's basically just David Johnson in Denver and now getting arrested for DUIs, it makes it a little bit of an easier pill to swallow. But as you're saying, like in a 14-team league, I know from like for a fact how valuable quarterbacks are because I'm in a 16-team league and people want to roster 2 of them. So I'm out there throwing up fucking Joey Burrow and like Carson Wentz. It's real ugly for me out there. So yeah, it's tough to give up a quarterback like that. But as you're saying, with the running back landscape, especially with Clyde Edwards-Helaire just like almost losing his job with Le'Veon Bell coming into town and a bunch of other injuries and COVID going on, it's hard to pass up on a guy like David Johnson who hasn't produced but has faced really tough defenses, is in for an easy stretch, and is getting almost 20 touches a game. So although your league made shit
Like
on you for that,
19, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, 19 touches back to back, bro. I'm like,
yeah.
give a brother a chance. And then Melvin Gordon, he only put up 25 points that Thursday night because of one huge play in the last like 20 seconds. And
And they
then
also play the
people are like,
Jets, so you're just penciling it in for like 25 at least.
yeah, but like Michael Gallup, Jared Cook, they all had boom bust. But like that brings me like into the next point. What do you think about Marquise Brown and his matchup with Darius Slay this week?
Man, Marquise Brown is somebody who I was not a fan of in Dynasty or redraft just because the way that he profiles with that offense just doesn't make too much sense to me because I know in college he was much more than a deep threat. In the NFL, he's getting a ton of air yards. He's being used deep, but he's with one of the less accurate deep passers in the league, which like was a cause for concern, which is the opportunity that he's seeing and how many targets and how much volume he's seeing in that offense. I think things are bound to change just because this has been a team, as I said before, they haven't had to throw the ball a lot. They haven't had to really play catch up at all, other than the Chiefs game, but they got shut out completely in the Chiefs game, so they couldn't do anything at all. I think this week against the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe, I don't care who's guarding him. I'm going to play him in that matchup just because you can't afford to sit Marquise Brown in a matchup where they might have to throw. Like the Eagles aren't good at all, but they just put the Steelers on the ropes. I don't think that the Steelers are all that much worse than the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to have to throw as well. Their run defense in Philly is still good, so I'm not so sure that Mark Ingram's old ass and J.K. Dobbins' 2 carries is going to make them not want to run the ball, or going to force them to run the ball. So I do like Marquise Brown this week. It feels like if you're going to start him, he's going to suck, and if you sit him, he's going to blow up. So I'd rather just take my chance and see what happens.
That always happens to me, man. I started Drew Brees over Jared Goff, and then he had 22 points the week before, and then bounced back for 36, and then find out that Michael Thomas isn't playing because he wants to I don't know,
Call him a
fight or
slant
whatever.
boy.
Yeah, it's but what was I gonna say? Well, I got T Higgins too, man. But I was thinking about maybe uh sitting Marquise Brown and then putting T Higgins in. But I'm just like, dude, you never know, man. Look at the Chiefs just lost to the Raiders, and Derek Carr's just popping off. That tight end was popping off. You just never know. And Marquise Brown, I think, is if we're gonna put anyone in who's more likely to pop boom than bust, it'd definitely be the Ravens, Marquise Brown, and Lamar to just have some crazy play, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. As for the T Higgins play, I would definitely go Marquise Brown because I feel like T Higgins is almost in the same vein where like he gets a lot of targets, but you're really relying on like a deep touchdown or a touchdown in general. And I'd have a lot more faith in Lamar getting Marquise Brown a touchdown against the Philadelphia Eagles than Joe Burrow being able to do it against the Indianapolis Colts because the Colts defense, aside from last week, has
Lamar,
been pretty elite all season. And I know Xavier Rhodes is usually a fucking bum, but he's been good this year too.
yeah, and then the Chiefs were undefeated and the Raiders won. It's like so you never know. But what else we got? What else are we gonna talk about? What do I got? David Johnson's got more yards than Chris Carson, Melvin Gordon, and Kamara.
I'm gonna cut that out of the video. I got editing powers. That's not gonna be put in here.
Why not?
David Johnson, anything positive about the guy? Unless it's a COVID test, we're not talking about.
We're not talking about it right now. How's your record in fantasy this year?
I'm in a few leagues. My home league's real tough because the day that we had the draft online, I was like away for the weekend with somebody and I had no connection. And I like got back
Uh,
and I saw my team. I had fucking Joe Mixon and Kenyon Drake and Will Fuller, which at this point doesn't look terrible, but like I'm analyzing the hamstrings and shit like that. I'm like, this is gonna be a rough season. I'm almost at double
it's,
digit trades trying to dig myself out of a hole and it's not working right now.
hey man, I've been following the draft guide and I'm winning this year, man. Everything's been paying off. I tap into the channel late at night while I'm working because I'm a truck driver, and I just watch all the videos and it's good stuff, man. But
Appreciate
right
it.
now we have out of our 14-man league, the champ, the commissioner, and then the ex 3-year champ. They're all 1-4,
Wow.
and then all of the scrubs and I don't know the irrelevant people that never do anything. There's a 7-way tie for 3-2,
Wow. That's
and
crazy. What are
yeah,
you?
I'm 3-2. But I took down the commissioner week 1, and he went on a 0-4 streak. And
I gotta get
we
him on
have
one of
all
these
these
calls and tell him to start colluding or something. Dig himself out of that
dude.
hole.
Well, it's so funny because we have all kinds of bets going on, and then all these people. I bet 3 different people $100 each that they're all betting against me not to make playoffs. And then I go and do the Lamar, David Johnson, Raheem Mostert move, and everyone jumped off the bandwagon. They're like, "You're done, kid. You're fucking done. It's over for you. It's over."
I'm telling you, the same thing happened in my home league last year. Somebody traded away, I believe it was, he gave up Mark Ingram and DJ Moore for like Saquon Barkley and a good receiver. And then Saquon Barkley, like last year towards the end of the year, like fucking stunk. And so did the receiver I gave up. DJ Moore and Mark Ingram were like awesome at the end of the year. Everybody wanted to veto the trade because you're giving up Saquon Barkley for like two kind of no-name guys. You never know what's going to happen with these deals. Like you just said, David Johnson, coach is fired. He's getting volume. You never know if he's going to be an RB1 the rest of the season.
That's right. That's right. I'm a bet on him. Let's go, baby. We got this. So
All
you're
right,
gonna
dope.
do. So there's gonna be a lot of videos for you guys with all your members, but a lot of people aren't down to do it, or what?
Well, we had a lot of people have like show interest. I'm trying to do like one a week, but it's like, there's 3 channels. It's like roster view, trades, and then general player. I'm gonna probably combine
Yeah,
your video with 2 other ones and put out like an hour-long video or however long it takes to like chop up.
that's what's up.
So we'll see.
That's awesome, man.
I appreciate you hopping on. It's cool to see people like actually want to talk to a fraud like me.
Hey, man, I love you guys' content. I mean, you guys are how do you say not relevant, but Like, there's a lot of channels where, like, people, they don't know how to talk and they go around, they're real biased, and they're not like with the times, like, your Fab or your Fade the Public or whatever. You guys all got your things. Hey, real quick, what do you think about the wide receiver core for Dallas now that Andy Dalton's in it? You think Lamb's still gonna be exploding every week?
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. I mean, Michael Gallup's still going to be Michael Gallup, running down the sideline, not doing much. I think it's still going to
I
be
got Michael Gallup.
all right. I'll try to
I
hype him
tried
up.
to trade him. I tried to trade him away after that big week, and then he got 0 points. I'm like, it's over.
Yeah, well, this past week it looked decent. They were kind of relying on him, but my concern is like they were about to lose to the Giants. They had to do whatever it takes to get the ball downfield, so they just slung it to him. I think CeeDee Lamb is fine. I mean, that defense still stinks. Their offensive line is torn apart. And Andy Dalton, we've seen him in his past, like just pepper Tyler Boyd over the middle of the field. CeeDee Lamb is running like 90% of his routes out of the slot. He's great after the catch. He's good in the red zone. I think he's going to be fine. And then Amari Cooper, I mean, you could say it's going to be tough because he's on the outside catching passes from like Red Rifle or whatever, but he's just so dominant. He's good after the catch also. He's going to see like 10, 15 targets a game because if your defense is giving up 34 points to Daniel Jones and Devonta Freeman's like half a kneecap, I mean, they're not going to be able to stop anybody the rest of the season. So they're just going to keep slinging it. And I think both of those guys are going to be fine. And then Michael Gallup is another one, kind of like Marquise Brown, where you don't want to start him, but the weeks you don't start him, he's going to go crazy. So you kind of have to start him in good matchups.
Yeah. Yeah, Dak was number 1 in attempts.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray's got 5 rushing touchdowns, man. That's insane.
Yeah,
He's
Kyler Murray's been like shitty throwing the ball, but running the ball, he's been an animal. He's like unlike anything other than like Lamar Jackson last season.
He's like up there with like the top 25 running backs in yards or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really hurting Kenyon Drake, but I think Kenyon Drake's hurting himself more than Kyler Murray's hurting him.
I live in Arizona too. I've been to that Cardinal Stadium. It's pretty awesome.
Have you seen Kenyon Drake up close? Like, how tight is his back right now? Because he looks like real stiff when he's running out there.
No, I went last year in December for the Lions-Cardinals game. I was like, where the hell are all these Detroit fans coming? Half of the stadium was blue. Insane.
That's crazy.
Well,
Yeah,
cool, man.
He's looked tough. He's looked like Tim Duncan out there trying to run the ball, which is never a good thing.
Tim Duncan. Man, I had high hopes for Kenyon Drake when he was in Miami.
Yeah, he's just been misused his whole life, and now he's on a team that is good, and they're still not throwing him the ball, so it's been tough for him.
How do you say your name? FB God or FB God?
You don't have to say it like that. You can just call me Noah.
Noah the man. Hey, man, you respond more than Nick. You can tell him I said that.
I'm not sure he's going to respond to me if I tell him that.
Hey, right after he did that pumpkin beer podcast or whatever, I went out and it was the first thing I did after a 100-hour work week. I went straight. I'm like, pumpkin beer sounds so good right now. I was like, where do I even find that shit? Yeah.
You get any or no?
I went to 2 separate stores, no pumpkin beer fresh out. I had to go to like a brewery, but it was still
really
cool.
They're probably like saving you. That's probably a sign that they're all out.
It was an adventure. Yeah.
Was it worth it?
It was.
Really?
It was worth it. It's like, let's go, dude. BDG pumpkin train, man.
All right.
Well,
Is there
right
anything else?
on. Thanks for all your content. Thanks for the draft guide, and look forward to watching more videos.
Dope. I appreciate the support, man. It means a lot.
Later, dude. Thanks.
See ya. All right, guys. This is part 2 of the video. I'm sure if you're watching this, you can probably tell because it just jumped right in. We're with my man Brandon, who is also a supporter on Patreon. So shout out to you, Brandon. Appreciate you coming on to this week's episode. As I said before, if you guys want to be on one of these, just join our Patreon, get in Discord, talk some shit. I like when you guys talk shit. That means I'm going to have you on an episode. So Brandon was kind of nice about it. So I brought him on anyway. So he slipped through the cracks. But we're going to start to look at his team. It's on the screen right now. I see a few guys I'm not a fan of, but I'm just going to let him introduce himself first off so I don't have to rip him too hard about his squad.
Thank you for the intro, bro. Yeah, I have a couple teams I'm just trying to get your insight on because, as you said, this one ain't looking too pretty. I mean, to be fair, this one's like 3-2 on some luck stuff, so
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking right now. I see James White in your starting lineup. That means like off the bat, if James White's starting for you, it's rough for the kid. But
Oh,
you got Josh Jacobs on bye, who's kind of like Joe Mixon, who kind of stinks. Also, you also have in your team. You got a whole lot of volume, a whole lot of lack of touchdowns going on right now. This is redraft, I assume, right?
yeah, this is redraft and it's a 12 team.
12 team. All right, the way it's looking right now, honestly, it's not terrible. The wide receivers are a bit sketchy. You have two Jaguars. Anytime you roster two Jaguars, as I said before, it's kind of rough. You do have the goggles at kicker, which is like a solid 15 a week, which is really underrated. Overall, though, it it's not bad. Let me see who you got in the waiver wire because Zach Moss has to go.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking, man. Zach Moss got to go. I was trying to trade off McKinnon for a little bit, but nobody wanted that sauce. And then
What type of sauce does McKinnon have? He's got like
the
3-year-old expired relish. That's the only
yeah,
type of sauce he's got.
the one touchdown a week sauce, and then he dropped the ball on it.
I do like your backup receivers. I do like the shot and Laviska Shenault. All jokes aside about the Jacksonville receivers, he's a pretty good start. If I guess DJ Chark, the 1 week he missed, he didn't really do too much. But I like the way his role is shaping up this season. Their schedule is piss easy. It doesn't really mean much when you play on the Jaguars again. And then T. Higgins, this week is tough. I know his schedule the rest of the year is kind of up and down with who he plays, but the volume's there, and AJ Green is like 1 foot in the grave. So I do like that pickup.
Exactly. And then I've got Kittle and then Baby Kittle, but I'm probably trying to trade away Baby Kittle for a little something if I could get it.
You got to. It's tough because in my home league, I'm starting Dalton Schultz. I'm like, all right, let me see who I can make an offer to get a tight end. And I like sort by projected points or whatever. I'm like, man, all these guys fucking stink. I don't want any of them. I might just roll with Dalton Schultz and get half a point a week.
All right, so let me hit this waiver real quick. All right, yeah. So if we sort by like flex.
Wow, what a fall from grace.
I
Carson
know.
Wentz on the waiver wire.
Oh yeah, that was who I drafted, and then like after week 3, I had to axe him, bro.
Oh, you got a lot more patience than me. It was like week 2, I cut his ass. All right. Ooh, yeah, this is tough. I just saw Jordan Howard and Matt Breida bike to bike. And you got guys on IR really high up. That's rough. Honestly, I'm not seeing all too much that you can add. I guess a Tony Pollard type, just in case like Zeke goes down. I think he has a whole lot more value than somebody like Zach Moss. Like Zach Moss, again, you're relying on a Devin Singletary injury. But I think from what he's shown is like even if Devin Singletary were to get injured, TJ Yeldon's going to go out there and catch a 40-yard touchdown somehow. So I think that a guy like Tony Pollard, if Zeke were to go down, is going to have a whole lot more value than somebody like Zach Moss.
Sick. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was looking at Pollard earlier this week, but I was like, dang, Moss just became healthy. Okay, maybe he can do a little something. I was like, dang, maybe I might even have to start Zach Moss over the kid James White.
Oh, that's a tough spot to be in.
That's real rough.
James White. I would go James White even though that game is canceled over Zach Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anytime that like you're scrolling down, you see Jeff Wilson, Boston Scott, Chris Thompson, like it's a rough go. And then Logan Thomas. This honestly, I'm trying to help you, but like this is making me sad. Seeing all these names that were hyped up like 2 weeks ago, now they all kind of stink.
Yeah, now they're chilling on the waiver. I had Paris Campbell. He's in the grave now.
It's a fucking cemetery out here. Kerryon Johnson too. I actually don't mind Matt Breida too much just because it seems like the Jordan Howard experiment is like dead and gone. And then I don't know, like Myles Gaskin is the guy there, but I think Breida had like 10 touches last week. It was kind of a blowout, but he does have the same type of skill set as a Gaskin where he can catch out of the backfield. He can break a big one. Again, though, I'd probably much rather have Tony Pollard just because he has the upside to be like an RB1 if the guy in front of him gets hurt.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, but overall the waivers, I don't know. I'm not saying go out and pick up Tony Pollard right now. I'm just saying the waivers are real dry. I can see why you have the guys that you got on your team.
Yeah, it's a real sketch, bro.
Yeah.
Compared
What's
to
out there on tight ends? Just Logan Thomas? Greg Olsen. Man, fuck that guy.
Old ass.
Jordan Akins was actually like a decent part of this offense before Harrison Smith tried to take his head straight off his shoulders. I'm not sure if he's playing this week. He's probably not worth picking up. I'd definitely rather have Tanyan than him. But I do think that with the roster that you have, you can easily just swing Tanyan for somebody that needs a tight end and get wide receiver running back help. Because I know I'm in a situation where I need a tight end. And I like the guy who has Tanyan's actually got him as a backup too. and I'm like 1 second away from sending an offer. I'm like, do I really want to send him like Terry McLaurin for this idiot? So
for Tanya. Yeah.
bait them a little bit.
I love it. But yeah, that's all for this roster, I guess, because you see the waiver and you see the struggles. So
Yeah, it's real tough. Is there anybody like anybody's team out there you want to show and like maybe try to make a deal live on air, even though this is coming out like a week later?
yeah, they got some. Let's see.
Yeah, it might be rosters.
They got some real like ridiculous teams in this, like this one here.
Damn. He's got Madison too, and Young Ho Koo. All right, he's set.
he's big set. He's already got playoffs in the name.
Yeah, he's 3-2 though. You're right there with him.
Yeah, I beat him 2 weeks ago.
Animal.
I know. That was I think that was the Kittle blow up week with Mixon.
All right, Dean of Clown College is starting fucking Benny Snell, Jamal Williams, and Austin Hooper. That guy is hurting way more than Melvin Gordon fresh off a DUI. Oh, shoot. That guy's honestly maybe dangle something out in front of him for DK Metcalf. Give him like a Robert Tonyan and one of your receivers for a Metcalf.
Like,
Who you have a receiver, like Robert Woods or something?
Yeah, I have like Robert Woods, Diggs, Chark.
I would shoot an offer with Robert Woods and Tonyan for Metcalf. He's probably going to like spit in your face, but it's worth a try.
Yeah, you'll probably do it just because he has Cooper.
Ooh. That's true. I would do Chark too. I mean, DK Metcalf, the way he's showing, he's basically Robbie Anderson if Robbie Anderson could find the end zone, and he's on a bye this week. I think he'd much rather have like Tonyan than Noah Fant, who's maybe not playing, and then a DJ Chark over an Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 3-2, so he's not too desperate for a win.
He's not hurting. Yeah, this league's like a 12-man, right? Mm-hmm. And 6 of us are 3-2, and the other 6 are 2-3.
Wow, so it's pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Let's see these guys. I like that team name. He's just laughing. He's got a pretty solid team. I'm not so sure he needs too much help. He's flexing Zach Ertz, which is always an issue. The Big Bad River definitely needs some help. He just lost Dalvin Cook. He's still got Sony Michel. He does have Herbert. Yeah, he's got a lot of things to change up there. He's starting Hayden Hurst and Travis Fulgham. But then again, like, who are you going to take off his roster?
Exactly, right? Like, I was thinking about maybe, like, try to trade for Lockett, but I don't know what.
Lockett kind of scares me. The way that the offense is going, I mean, if you watched this past week when they played the Minnesota Vikings, that final drive, DK Metcalf dropped, like, 2 passes, and they still threw to him every single play. So I just think he is by far and away the number one there. Chris Carson's getting used out of the backfield. Tyler Lockett's basically just like a glorified Marquise Brown at this point, where you're going to get, like, a blow-up week once every 3 weeks, and that week's only going to come when he's on your bench.
Damn. You hate to see it, Lockett.
Yeah, poor guy. Like, got a calf cramp last year and his whole life. This guy's starting Jimmy Graham, and he's got a whole bunch of receivers: Mike Evans, Devontae Adams.
This is actually the guy I'm facing this week.
So maybe you pretend you're helping him out by sending him Robert Tonyan, and then in return you get something good. Like, I do like a Justin Jefferson. His schedule, the Minnesota Vikings schedule, is really favorable for the pass, especially with like Dalvin Cook now out. Maybe they don't want to lean on the run so much, and he already had 2 blow-up games over 100 yards, so that could be easy for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. I love Justin Jefferson, the dude's a beast.
Where are you from? You watch LSU a lot or no?
I'm from Florida, but yeah, I watch a lot of LSU.
How's that boy Kyle Pitts doing?
They're doing sick.
He's got like 1 million touchdowns in 2 games.
Yeah, dude.
I'm looking at like old Kyle Pitts right now and Jimmy Graham, and then we got the new thing coming in soon.
That new draft class is gonna be pretty good, man.
Yeah, communism in his mouth.
I tell you, these names are wild.
Yeah, well, Go to Bell is like, he doesn't even have a receiver to start. I guess he's got Chase Claypool and Terry McLaurin on his bench. Actually, that's somebody I might target as well. Terry McLaurin might be looking like he's down in the dumps now with Kyle Allen there. The thing you got to realize is last week was his floor game. It was still 7 targets, and it was up against the LA Rams where they sacked him like 8 times. He was seeing Jalen Ramsey. He was seeing the other guy whose name I don't know, but is apparently like better than Jalen Ramsey at this point.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's got Tyler Higbee, who, I mean, I respect the hair. Anybody who can pull that off is like kind of a G in my book. But yeah, I think you could maybe send him an offer, give him like a Robert Tonyan and maybe a Laviska Shenault, for a Terry McLaurin type. He's in the slot right into your starting lineup. He gets Dallas like 2 of his next 5 games. He gets the Giants in 2 of his next 5 games. The schedule's really looking up for him. I don't care who's behind center. I think he's going to eat.
Yeah, definitely. You can't sleep on Terry McLaurin, man.
Yeah. Well, I can. I did for like 8 months, and that's how good he is this season.
You learned from firsthand experience. Shit.
Yeah, it's been tough. But a few of the guys I didn't like are really proving me right, like David Johnson. The last guy that we were talking with earlier in this video, he told me that he was like really high on David Johnson. I said the only time we talk positive about him is after a COVID test. But all right, so I think this team is kind of wrapped. If you want to make one of those trades in the future, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know if it went through, or let me know if the guy just kind of like yelled at you and was like, bro, you can't be doing this. You can't be disrespecting
just spit in my
live on air.
face. Or like he makes a trade and then finds his video a week later. And
Yeah, we got to give him a shout out. A preemptive shout out. I'll cut it out if it didn't go through.
All right. Next roster would be this Dynasty one here.
This is also a 12 team. No, it's 10 team, right?
This 10 team, yeah. I'm
4 attaboy. And David Johnson.
Yeah. And David Johnson, the boy. Yeah, so this one, I'm pretty much trying to fire sale it.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the picks that I have right now. I'm trying to get more.
So you're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, trying to get more 2021s so I can start picking off some of the players I want to get, like Najee and Chase for next year.
And you guys can trade for 2022s, I see. You have a 2022 first from somebody?
Yep.
Yeah, can I just see the starting roster? Because this is a 1 quarterback league, right?
Yeah, this is 1 quarterback.
So I think the way you got it right now, I can see off the bat Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown, A.J. Brown. That's a really, really good core to build around. Even Ronald Jones a little bit, but I mean, I'm not a fan of him. He's like over 220 pounds right now, so we know the deal. Yeah, I think the competitive window you can build with those guys like CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown, they're both, like 20, 21, 22 years old.
Yeah.
Josh Allen,
like
same
that.
deal. Marquise Brown. Somebody like Jamison Crowder this year is like, 23. Jamison Crowder, I think he's like 27, 28.
He's like 28. Oh, 27. Yeah.
Wow, he's basically 40, especially
man.
Bolden like that. So, yeah, I think he's somebody that I would try to trade away. You're probably not going to get a first for him. Probably going to get a second. But the way that he's producing right now, he's averaging the most yards per game in the NFL, apparently. Somebody was like commenting in our old videos because I titled one, "Do not draft Jamison Crowder." He's like, "You're a fucking idiot." And I said, "Take the video." So who's the idiot now? So I think he's somebody you can definitely move away from, just because when you do have a CeeDee Lamb going into his prime, like he's basically like in his prime, but like 2-3 years down the road, and A.J. Brown, same thing. When they're like really in their ultra prime or whatever, Jamison Crowder's gonna be 31. We know that hamstring is real weak. It's coming off the bone like a young Will Fuller. I think he's somebody that you can ship off right now. David Johnson, if anybody's buying him in Dynasty, good luck to you. He's somebody that I'm fine taking a second for. And then I like that you have Winston on the bench. I think he's going to be somebody that's going to have a job next year. Gardner Minshew, same deal. I like that too. He was really discounted heading into the year. But you do have a lot of guys that I feel like you can ship off for a good price. Like Devonta Freeman right now, you can definitely ship off because he seems to be the guy on the Giants, which doesn't mean much, but he's the guy on the Giants.
Yeah, not much at all.
Yeah, and even in Alexander Madison, like he's young, so you don't want to ship him off, but you got to realize Dalvin Cook just got extended. He's never really going to be the guy unless it's like week 13 when Dalvin Cook tears his ACL again. So I do think you have a lot of guys that are like worth shipping off and you can get a lot in return for. And as you said, your running backs don't really fit into the mold of your team. But if you get a bunch of 2s or 1s, you could flip those 2s for a 1, or you could use those 1s to get an ETN. You can get a Najee Harris. You can get Chuba Hubbard. And then a few years down the road, you're really set up. I don't think this team is too far away from being really competitive with how you set up your picks and everything.
Sick.
You have Noah Fant, too. That guy catches a football like when a seal claps. He just like doesn't have hands.
It's too true. I watched some of those games. I'm like, holy shit. How does he make these scores, yo?
Like, man, you're lucky you're fast as fuck because you're in the NFL. You even got Jalen Hurts and DJ Dallas. You only got 2 spots in your taxi.
Yeah, this is a startup last year, and then I think as it goes on, they add more bench space because they realize, oh shit, we might need a little bit more space for the drafts.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are you currently like in last or like second to last or something like that?
I'm second to last.
Oh, okay, so you got 2 divisions. How bad is this other guy's team that you're trying to tank with? My other team. Yeah, how bad is he?
Well, the thing is, he wasn't trying to tank. It just happened.
Oh shit! This team's looking hot. You got Cam Newton. You got Kareem Hunt, Terry McLaurin. Yeah, I think you got this one wrapped up.
Yeah, he's just getting destroyed. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, he has Alshon Jeffrey. You know what's going to go down. He has DK Metcalf too, and this guy's 0-5.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs, DK Metcalf. Like I don't.
Yeah, I think I got to talk to him. Saquon Barkley too. Yeah, you might have number one locked up, which is good for you because you're gonna have a lot of leverage this offseason, especially with it being a one quarterback league. You can just like basically not have to think about quarterbacks and just pencil in like a Najee Harris or whatever. Who else do you have for a first round pick? Like who did you trade for? Or whose first round pick do you have?
I have mostly this guy's, but he's
Oh yeah.
4-1.
Does he? Let me see. Does he have any young guys that you'd be interested in? Because I see he has Dalvin Cook and he's 4-1. He probably wants Madison.
I was trying to trade him for with Madison, yeah, and he said he's interested in Ronald Jones.
Man, fuck Ronald Jones. Give him Ronald Jones. The thing is, like, his team is real old. Other than Alvin Kamara, but he's not going to give you anything. He's not going to give you Kamara for anything.
Yeah, nah.
So he wants both guys in that Tampa Bay backfield.
Yeah.
More power to him. How the hell is he undefeated or 4-1? He doesn't seem like somebody that you could really make a deal with. Does he have DJ Chark?
Yeah, he has Chark.
I don't hate that. I don't hate Claypool either. I think if you can get like Chark for Madison and Rojo, and like maybe a second on top of that on your side as well, you get Chark and a second for Rojo and Madison. If you can pull that off, I think that's good for you. It's just another wide receiver to add to your arsenal. But those second round picks, they don't seem like a lot. It's basically going to be a wide receiver when the draft does come around. But if you pile up enough of those, you can flip like 3 2s and some other old bum on your team for a number one.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm pretty new at the Dynasty stuff, so I don't know how the flipping works or like the
yeah. I'm telling you,
and
once like the season ends or once the playoffs begin, the teams that didn't make the playoffs, they don't give a shit about their teams anymore. It's all about rookie draft picks because draft picks, I know Mike says it a lot in the videos, like draft picks can't lose value. Like even last year, you think that they're going to lose value because you look at the landing spots. You're like, oh, yeah, these guys can't land in good spots. And then Cam Akers goes to the Rams. Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes to the Chiefs. Jonathan Taylor goes to the Indianapolis Colts. Like they just don't lose value, whereas a guy like Ronald Jones loses value when Leonard Fournette signs there. Or a guy like Marlon Mack loses value because Jonathan Taylor goes to a new team. It's just there's always so much hype in the unknown that picking up these draft picks, even second rounders, like you're getting T. Higgins in the second round, you're getting Gibson in the second round. People are going to want those picks. And if they figure out like their team doesn't have much depth, they could move like the 110 for the 204 and the 206. And at that point, at the 110, you might be looking at, I'm not sure if like Rondale Moore is going to be there in a one quarterback league, but you know, Rondale Moore, the dude for Auburn, Seth Williams, somebody like that who can really help out your team.
Nah, that's legit.
But I really like that you guys are playing with kickers and defense. Who's your kicker? Better be Badgley. Mason Crosby. Goddamn. Once their hair turns gray a little bit, I think you got to get rid of the kicker.
Yeah, man. He's reaching, so he's 36, about almost 50. Shit, he looks 50.
Actually, that's like 100. Kicker, 36 is like 100. He's been good though. I mean, that offense is good. Yeah, I don't really honestly know anything about kickers when it comes to Dynasty. Is like Harrison Butker a 4th round pick just because he's like an automatic 15 for 28?
Exactly. No, I feel like in every league that I have a kicker, I'm trying to get Goggles, man. He's freaking
fucking Kenny Blankenship from MXC, that old Japanese game show.
Yeah, that's
anybody like on waivers at all? This is a pretty deep league, but you do have like good depth all the way through your bench, so there might be something on waivers.
Let's see.
Yeah, this is definitely not super flex league because Andy Dalton's out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, Frank Gore. Do you think like somebody in 2005 drafted Frank Gore in the rookie draft and like they still have him on their dynasty?
Probably
like,
out of respect.
Yeah, just out of respect. Like I've had this guy for 18 years and he's averaged 3.5 yards a carry each one of those.
He's been beating ass with Frank Gore for like
every Sunday is just watching Frank Gore's massive balls flop around on his TV. Get him 8.5 points. Yeah, it's real thin. I do kind of like Ebron though. I think he fumbled like 4 times last game, which was tough for him. One of them got overturned. But he's like seeing decent volume, and Juju Smith-Schuster just he seems like a little bit of a fraud. He just seems like a perennial wide receiver 2 on his own team. But then
Yeah, I don't
again,
know what's
Ebron's
going
not
on with
really
Juju,
helping you.
man. Yeah, he's Juju been slipping. I don't understand.
I don't know what's up with him. I mean, week 1 he had like the 2 touchdowns, but it was like 60 yards, and then ever since then it's just like 40 to 50 yards.
Yeah, it was Juju, and it's like, oh shit, Juju's back. And then it was like the Deontay show, and it's like, oh shit, okay, maybe he's the wide receiver one. And then like he slips up, gets hurt, and then it's like, okay, now it's Juju season again. Nope, it's fucking Claypool.
Here, give me 1 second. I don't know what's up with my Zoom. It like, did you like end screen share or something?
Nope.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to cut all this shit out. I don't know what happened. It just says Brandon in a black screen, and then I see like real small.
Shit. Let me see.
Does it say it's recording for you still?
Yeah, recording on this computer. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the screen share and put it back.
All right, let me see what happens to that. Oh wait, let me. All right, we're good. If you want to go back to screen share, you're good. I clicked back to meeting and it like went black for a second. I'm like, all right, rest.
All right, YouTube, we're bike.
I love that. Taking control, full control of this show. The last guy hit the intro on me, so I'm feeling some sort of.
Oh shit!
I don't know. Mike's gonna be upset. He's like, man, you're letting this fucking bullshit happen on the channel. I'm like, man, I don't know what happened.
He's like, what kind of content you putting on this shit?
Man, this is fucking exclusive. They can do whatever the hell they want.
Hell yeah.
Darnell Mooney. Ooh, that's a low-key snipe. Who can you drop anybody for him? I like Mooney a whole lot, but it's your team, so it doesn't matter who I like.
I mean, I love Mooney.
Yeah, you're pretty solid all the way through.
It gets tempting sometimes for Winston, but like I'm just like, nah.
You can just picture him in 2 years eating a W and putting up like 100 points on a week.
Putting it up on me, yeah, on somebody else.
Shouldn't have dropped him in 2020. Yeah, honestly though, looking at this team, I don't think that there's too many issues. I mean, going through your bench, you even have like Darrell Henderson pretty deep down there. You just have a few older guys like N'Keal Harry. I'm fine with how your team is built. Laviska Shenault too, Brian Edwards, Noah Fant. I mean, you're pretty solid. I didn't even see Cam Akers. He's kind of a fucking bum, but like that's gonna work out for you soon. If Melvin Gordon does like get this whole DUI issue, maybe Philip Lindsay can throw him to another owner. Like I think at this point, you're not competing, and these guys like a Philip Lindsay and like a Devonta Freeman, they're not going to help you. I wouldn't mind like losing a trade in the now, like getting less value than you probably should for something that's going to help you in the future. Because getting a 3rd round pick for Devonta Freeman may sound stupid, but in 2 months, Devonta Freeman's not going to touch your starting roster, and that 3rd round pick might turn into a Brian Edwards for you.
That is very true. Yeah, so just start sending out offers for some of these running backs. Like, here's a 2nd, here's a 3rd, here's this, here's a little flip, see what happens.
Yeah, honestly, like, don't try to lose the trade right away. Somebody might take like a shitty offer and help you out, but like a 2nd round, 3rd round pick for Philip Lindsay, I'm fine with. Same with Devonta Freeman. And then who was like an Alexander Madison? I'm sure you could throw him in a package deal and get somebody like that Chark who he had with Dalvin Cook there. So I think you're actually in a decent enough spot to, in a few years down the line, you're going to have like a very Scott roster, as we like to call everybody under 25 years old. A nice little Scott Bundy.
If he's aging towards 30, he gots to go. Get his ass out.
I'm telling you, this offseason, I was talking to Scott. I'm like, you like Mike Evans? He's like, I don't know. He's 26. So next year he'll be 27, and that's like almost their peak. And then 28, they start to downfall. I'm like, bro, what the that's like 3 seasons of wide. Like, what's going on?
You've already capped off 3 seasons, bro. What's going on?
Yeah, once the guy hits 23, he's like, fuck, you think about it. 7 years, he's gone. Like, all right, I'm going to be gone in 7 years too.
The way shit's going, hell yeah. That long con. Damn, Scott's playing the long game on y'all, man.
Yeah, if you ever get into a league with Scott, first off, don't. And second off, just get ready for a whole lot of offers that say, offer sent, thank you, how was your weekend? And then 2 seconds later, you're going to see offer accepted. He just sweetens you up. We call him Scott Bundy just because he talks to you. 2 seconds later, head's chopped off.
Yeah, maybe I need to finesse my league mates too like that.
I'm telling you right now, I just got a notification on my phone. A trade has been completed. I bet you all the money in the world Scott was on one side of this deal. Live talk. Let me see.
Sweet talker.
Who even was it? No, he wasn't part of it. So I have no money in the world to give anybody. So that bet is
So
off the
you're
table.
Yeah, that's all for the Dynasty. And then I guess I'll do one more because all these other ones are kind of like, they're all right.
All right. Duelist Kingdom.
Hell yeah. commish for like these three right here.
Are you any BDGE leagues? Or no?
Nah, no BDG leagues. I didn't hear about it until like I think after you guys signed them all up.
Yeah, we stopped them after a while. It was not a headache, but like it was tough at like 1 a.m, seeing like a million people be like, "Get me in, get me in." I'm like, bro, my head hurts. I'm feeble right now.
I assume managing that Discord is fucking tough, man.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like people like you, real respectful. Even though I told people in the beginning of the video to not be respectful to get on one of these. It's cool to like have a community like this. I enjoy it.
Yeah. So this one, I feel like the team looks good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fucking 1-4. And I mean, I understand it's because I get shit on like OB,
What does that
like,
mean in this thing?
like OBJ.
Oh, yeah,
on
the most points
daily.
against.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, your points for though are kind of looking tough. I think it's because you have guys like, can I see it again? I think you have like a Joe Mixon who looks good but doesn't do much. Your boy Robert Tanyan back in the fold.
Yeah, I got a Hunter Henry on by, so
I respect
baby
that.
Kittle gotta hit it up.
Who does A. Billings think he is putting Zach Ertz on the trade block? As if anybody wants him.
No idea, man. I've been trying to trade him for a little bit, but the offers are kind of yikes.
Yeah, I don't know. This team is like another one. This one's definitely a little bit harder to manage than your last one because you are in that win now window. Looking at guys like Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, David Montgomery. Who do you have as backup receivers? Because the starters are a little.
Oh, my bad. This one is our redraft.
Oh, is this redraft?
Yeah, redraft.
Oh, then this one's looking pretty good. I don't know how the hell you got all those running backs. But good on you for it. Is this 12 team, I assume?
This is 10.
10 team. All right. Well, those running backs, if you look at David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, and Jonathan Taylor's schedules, you probably have the three best running back schedules the rest of the season. I know Joe Mixon gets Indianapolis this week. Rest of the year, it's really, really soft for him. See, Cleveland's decent. Tennessee's kind of buns. Pittsburgh, same thing. They're one of those defenses that you look and you're like, damn, Pittsburgh's good. And then you look and you see Daniel Jones throw 2 touchdowns on him. You're like, damn, Pittsburgh stinks. Washington, the Giants, Miami, Dallas, that's easy. And then if you make it to the championship, which I hope you do, Houston, we're one of the worst running defenses in the league. I do like Joe Mixon. He's getting a whole bunch of work. I'd hold on to him. David Montgomery, again, fat running back, but that means he's got to eat, right? Look at that schedule. Carolina, the Rams, New Orleans is tough, but then Tennessee, Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit, Houston, Minnesota. Oh, he has tasty tilt against the Panthers. Who wrote that? That dude's got to get fired.
Amazing. Tasty tilt.
If you start calling things tasty in front of David Montgomery, he's going to eat it. So don't put that schedule in front of him. And then Jonathan Taylor as well. He's got a real easy schedule. And then Derrick Henry, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking, he put that dude into the earth.
Yeah, I wish he was putting I'm not going to he's actually, I don't want to say it because every time I will say it because it's going to help you out. Every time I talk shit about Derrick Henry, he starts to go off. He's been looking real bad this year. Like last week, I know that he had 2 touchdowns. He has no room to run, it seems. Like, I don't know how. I know Taylor Lewan was out for a little bit, but his yards per carry has been kind of ugly. Yeah, below 4 in 3 out of 4 weeks. But then again, this offense is just built around him, and he's still seeing a million touches a game, so I'm not too worried. And Darrington Evans, funny enough, I was up by 2 points in 1 week, and a guy started Darrington Evans against me, got put on IR after the first quarter, so I lucked out. So he seems like he's just going to be the guy going forward.
Yeah, I mean, he gets Houston next week, and then
wow,
his schedule's kind of up and down. It's like Houston and then Pitt, Cincy.
Yeah, I think with guys like this, like you're obviously never sitting Derrick Henry, so schedule's a little bit overrated. Like I sometimes find myself going out and trying to trade a guy if I see a schedules like this, and then right before I send the offer, I'm like, doesn't matter. Like Derrick Henry's going to score 2 touchdowns against Buffalo. He's going to score against anybody who he faces. Like it's not worth trying to give him up to try to be like to like outsmart yourself, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I see Minshew on the bench. I love that. Yeah, this is actually 1-4. Your team is definitely not a 1-4 team. You're like the Chargers of your league, where you're probably losing by small margins every week. But nobody other than Zach Moss, which I think you had him in the other league, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I drafted him, and I'm like, okay, maybe Moss is gonna. The hype is real, but then he's been hurt.
There's only one Moss that we respect that played in the NFL, and that's Randy. So Zach Moss, I'm not sure if there's anybody off waivers. I mean, somebody just picked up LaMichael Pirine, so I'm guessing no.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's a solid
guessing
team,
right. Oh shit! There we go. Oh, it's like week 6, but
Anytime Logan Thomas is top 2, it's like nothing doing.
someone dropped John Brown. But
Honestly, I don't hate that pickup. I think he's playing this week. But your receivers are the only thing that really is like struggling. And when he's on the field, he seems to be like a huge part of this offense. Like the full practice. Hey, they finally put out a good headline.
Yeah, shit. nothing tasty about it.
Kansas City. Ooh, I like the schedule. He burned Stephon Gilmore against New England last year. Seattle's easy. I mean, the thing is, like, he's never going to be getting the top coverage on the other side of the field because they do have Stephon Diggs there. I don't know. That's
Diggs sauces them up.
This week, Jimmy Graham, man, come on.
Then it's like Emmanuel Sanders, Adam Humphries, Corey Davis.
Yeah, I think once you start getting down to the Larry Fitzgerald range, it's like a wash. Frank Gore, the disrespect. Starting running back in the Jets unclaimed. Man needs a home.
He's chilling down here with Josh Reynolds and Isaiah Ford.
Yeah, he's built for it tough. He's a bum though. Michael Pittman, Tim Patrick. Yeah, other than John Brown, who I do kind of like. If you don't have to like spend a waiver claim, you just like add him regularly. I do kind of like that pickup over a guy like Zach Moss. I mean, we talked about it earlier. He's never going to start for you, even if Devin Singletary's hurt. And you have 4 starting running backs and JT, Henry, Dave Montgomery, Joe Mixon. And then hopefully Cam Akers like learns how to open up his eyes when he runs. So maybe you'll have 5 guys. I do like John Brown a little bit. I mean, he's kind of similar to Brandon Cooks where you don't know when to start him. But any given week, you can put up like a wide receiver 2 type of week just because he gets open deep down the field and sometimes he gets the volume.
Yeah, exactly. Shit, I might do it right fuck now.
Oh, shit. The FB fraud coming out and influencing people.
Boom.
We'll see you, kid. It was fun.
Got him.
Fun knowing you, Zach.
It was fun. Same team dream. Let's go.
Hey. Oh, you got Jarvis Landry, too. Jarvis Landry last week dropped like 4 passes. But he got like 9 targets. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, he's getting like healthier now, which is kind of nice. You can see his shit snap percentage going up.
Sleepers got it all figured out with like their colors. Like I can't even read numbers all that well, but I see green. I'm like, yeah, that's got to be good.
Yeah, that's got to be great. Yeah. And you see like Kansas City 5th, and you're like, what the? Yeah. He has purple, and then OBJ has yellow for LSU colors.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It doesn't even like look that purple though. It's probably the background like blends in a little bit.
Yeah, because it's fucking brown.
Yeah. Man, that's like an ugly ass background. Could have made it orange or something. That questionable tag up in the top right isn't even his health. It's like how they set up this website.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, that hair color was questionable, man.
Yeah, you didn't have to do it. Just shave the letters in the side of your head.
They just described the offense here. Baker Mayfield, Odell, and Jarvis Landry, just questionable.
Yeah, not even like their health. It's like they just all kind of, you don't know what to do with them. Just questionable people.
You don't know what you're getting, shit.
After they saw him massage Baker's leg on the sideline, it's like, yeah, he's a little questionable. It's
right. Yeah, I remember that shit. But yeah, as far as teams, I think that's all I have because like these, I mean, I'm 3-2.
Oh, but you're running a checkup. I like that team. Kenyon Drake, though. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, it's real tough. Then I got Matt Ryan, who's been playing like a bum without his favorite target.
This week's got to be a bounce back, though. He gets Julio back, and he gets to play Minnesota. That's going to be easy. That's going to be easy for him. Get right back on track.
Yeah, apparently he plays in a dome because they got this little –
I did notice they started putting like little windy things out there, like the weather, like a sun or like gusts of wind or rain.
That's rain or cool. Dome. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
It lets Robbie you know, like, oh shit.
God.
Yeah.
Honestly,
dude.
When you look at your team, I got to ask you this because I feel the same way. I got Robbie Anderson. Do you like slot him into your starting lineup? You're like, I shouldn't be doing this. It's Robbie fucking Anderson.
Yeah, every so often, like I'll catch myself. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna start putting in guys. All right, Robbie Anderson. Then I gotta check. I'm like,
am I doing this? Those numbers, that's crazy. Yeah, honestly, if you put your hand over the screen where it says Robbie Anderson, you look at the numbers, those are like legitimately Julio Jones numbers. Like I'm not even like trying to be hyperbolic or whatever. Like 100 yards in almost every single week and like 1 touchdown. That's just Julio Jones.
Yeah, like they're using him all over the field. It's crazy. That's why everyone's having a hard time with DJ Moore right now.
Yeah, DJ Moore. If you have him on any teams, this is a week I'm trying to sell, because if he didn't score that deep touchdown, which you can't like take away plays from players, but if he didn't put that up, like he's having another sorry week.
Yeah, exactly. Like holy shit. Yeah, so this one's alright. This one's I'm cruising.
I mean, if you have Kenyon Drake on the bench, that means like your team's got to be good, because I know you spent like a 1st or 2nd round pick on him.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, I had the same issue. The computer took him though, so I can blame it, even though I probably would have taken him if I was in the flesh.
Shit, I'm probably gonna sell his ass this week, or try to at least.
Man, good luck. You having to sell him to the fucking waiver wire.
Yeah, right. Then they got Tournament of Power, I think.
A little Dragon Ball thing up there.
Yep. This
J.D.
one's 12
McKissick.
team. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean that's like he's like the most solid 4 catches for 9 yards you'll ever find, aside from Zach Ertz, who you also have on your team.
This is rough. I'm thinking about getting Ebron. I got him already.
Yeah, Ebron's solid. I do like Justin Jackson though. He's looked like he's put on some weight, Justin Jackson, which I guess is good, because that means that they're going to trust him in the early downs.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to update that picture. He's a little more round than that. But his schedule's looking pretty nice. Now. Yeah. You heard that Anthony Lynn didn't think Austin Eckler was a starting running back because he was only 210. So Jackson's like, man, I got to get in the weight room. I got to get in the kitchen.
I got to eat them. I got to scarf them Cheez-Its down, man. Shit.
Yeah. No, not that fat-free shit. Give me the real stuff. Extra fat Cheez-Its.
Then like Jerick McKinnon, I don't know what the fuck to do with him right now, because like I feel like I can try and be like, oh hey, yeah, that was just a down week for the 49ers, but
I think what happened last week was just like kind of an anomaly. Like when you lose to Miami that bad, and you have Jimmy Garoppolo coming back, I think everything just like, I don't know, like Raheem Mostert's obviously still the guy, but he was also the guy the first 2 weeks of the season. You look at the numbers he put up, he was involved in the passing game. Jeff Wilson stinks. Tevin Coleman, I'm not so sure he's even hurt. I think they just put him in the IR because he like wants to sit at home and do nothing, which I don't blame him. When you run like that, like not much you can do on the field. I think he's going to bounce back a little bit. I mean, the Rams, New England, those are tough games, but they're going to be hard-fought games where they probably need some help out of the backfield too, because Jimmy Garoppolo can't throw anywhere outside of like a 4-foot radius box around him. So I think he's going to get a little more usage. I don't think he's like worth selling at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no one's really going to take him unless they believe that he's going to continue this, which shit
I'd
I
like send a screenshot and say that like they had a surprise buy in week 5, because nobody remembers that Miami game.
They just know that fucking Fitzpatrick went the hell off.
Yeah, so did Preston Williams. Preston Williams is like a fucking animal. Love that guy.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit.
Anytime you have like a neck tat in your like headshot, you know you're gonna have one game where it's like 100,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's like the Calvin Ridley special.
Just so they can show that damn photo right there.
Gabriel Davis, he looked good too. It's a good Dynasty League pickup. Oh, you had Nick Chubb. That's tough. But this is Dynasty, I assume, right?
No, this is a redraft.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Never mind. I was thinking Saquon Barkley out for the year. Yeah, so you'll be good in a few weeks when you have Nick Chubb back, and Justin Jackson next week's going to be starting. So this team isn't in a bad spot.
Yeah. So this one, I think, I'm 2-3. It should be all right.
Yeah, taking our team Chef Lion.
It's not that bad. The last one is going to be this one here, which looks like absolute garbage.
Wow. Yeah, that's rough. Mark Ingram. I always like look at one player and I feel like I can gauge where a team is at by looking at them.
It's like your RB2 is who? Damn. Yeah.
Your wide receiver 3 is Greg Ward. All right, time to wrap things up.
Wrap up the video, y'all.
But I don't know. I don't hate the team. You do have Hopkins, you do have James Conner, you do have Chris Godwin, so you have some heavy hitters. It's just it's very few and far between with the talent on this roster. But I don't know, Swift, I do think this might be like complete conjecture because I like the guy and I think he deserves it. But I think coming out of that bye, Swift is gonna command a much bigger role than what he has been used to. I mean, week 1, he had a pretty big role. He dropped that touchdown. I wrote up in the waiver column, I'm like, I wouldn't put past Matt Patricia to just bench his ass in favor of Adrian Peterson. It's basically what happened. We're like 5 weeks removed now. Now he gets like Jacksonville. He gets another easy matchup. I think Atlanta thereafter. I think that's a
Yeah,
good stash. You can probably rely on him in a few weeks.
that drop was tough to watch, bro.
Man, imagine being DeAndre Swift and dropping that and looking on the sideline and you see like this 400-pound dude with a pencil behind his ear, despite having like a laminated piece of paper that he can't even write on with a pencil. You're like, yeah, it's gonna be a tough go for me.
He's like, oh shit, first game as a rookie. Nah, fuck.
I'm about to be Kerryon Johnson all over again.
Damn, yeah, that's tough for Carry On, bro. He was like the starter. We wanted everyone to unleash the beast, and then like all of a sudden,
I'm telling you, the offseason told you all you needed to know about Kerryon Johnson. There was like 2 big reports. One of them was DeAndre Swift was working out with Matt Stafford, and there's a picture of Kerryon Johnson on the beach with his girlfriend, and people were commenting like, the other running back is working out. You're on the beach with your girlfriend. He's like, bro, let me relax. I'm on vacation. And then the other one was like, I've been watching DeAndre Swift. His knees bend in ways that mine physically can't bend in.
oh
like,
yeah, I
okay,
remember he
gone.
said that. He was like, yeah, he be doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, that's boy's wilding out. I can't do any of that. I don't know why they drafted me. Oh yeah, but that team, I don't know. I think Marquise Brown too. He's been really up and down, but I do think that his upcoming schedule is going to be nice for him. Just because if you look at like who he's played so far, other than the Chiefs, who they blew out, like Cleveland, they blew them out. It's they didn't have to pass all that much. Houston was a fraud show back then. Kansas City locked them up, and then Washington and Cincinnati, 2 other teams that fucking stink. They get Philly, who's like, I think they're better than what the record shows and like what everything shows so far. Pittsburgh, Indy, New England, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Dallas, Cleveland. Like, these are all good teams and improving teams. I think they're going to have to throw more. And he's like top 5 in air yard share, top 5 in air yards, top 5 in target share. So I think he's about to blow up too.
Yeah, I got some faith in him. I think I traded for him in this league after Kansas City, and then he started blowing the fuck up, which is always nice to see.
Yeah. Makes you feel good about your trade. They got his weight only at 170. Didn't he like eat fucking 400 calories of chicken like once every hour?
Yeah, right. Like, geez, 170, no neck tattoo. What's going on?
Yeah.
Here?
Once he gets tatted up to the gills, it's a wrap for you, motherfucker.
It's it. First round pick, 40-point blowout game.
He's just got to get like the hairdo that Antonio Brown had, like the mohawk, like the
oh yeah.
side of his head.
Or you could just be bald like Leo.
Bro, did you see the picture of Leonard Fournette with his shirt off in the gym?
No, I didn't see that shit.
I gotta like find it and like DM it to you on this thing. He looked like a grown man above the neck, and then like neck down, he looked like a little kid. He looked like that little Uzi Vert meme where he's like, "It's my 3rd day out here." Like the way he was standing, he just like looked real suspect.
While Rojo looks like a fucking bull.
Yeah, Rojo looks like the Hamburglar. He looks like if like Grimace and the Hamburglar had a kid, and then like just run in a straight line. He's like, "All right, I got you."
Good God.
You got Anthony McFarland too. Respect.
Yeah, just in case your boy go down.
Yeah, just in case. You just you mean like next week.
Yeah, like the seasonal.
He's been solid though. I can't knock him. COVID's taken out many people, but not James Conner.
Yeah, just like he's passed the bye, and he has like a decent schedule coming up.
Yeah, I didn't even know how good his schedule was looking. Other than Baltimore, that's very easy slate for him. I don't know. I feel like the Steelers are kind of like the Rams too. Other than like running back, because I guess James Conner's a workhorse. Like you just don't know who to start every week.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the only thing you know is just don't start Juju Smith-Schuster ever.
So weird to say. It's very 2020 of you to say that.
We get canceled for saying this.
Cancel culture. It's up that ass now. Watch. But yeah, man, that's it for my teams.
That's dope. Are you listening to Ed Sheeran after this? When you like look at your 1-4 team, you're like, you need a good cry? Because I respect that. I'm about to listen to Marvin's Room while I look at my team.
Yeah, I see fire. Yeah, all of it's shit.
Yeah, I got a whole playlist. It's just like tears running down my face. Saw that the computer drafted Kenyon Drake. I'm like, this is gonna be a long.
Thankfully, I only have him in one league, so that's fire. But
yeah, it's tough. It was tough to fade him just because everything looked good, and then you saw him and it looked real bad. But I don't know. Some people still believe. I got a guy in my league who I traded Kenyon Drake for Calvin Ridley after week 1, and it worked out pretty well for me. And he still thinks he's a top 12 back. So there's people out there.
Yikes. Well, let me see if I can find that guy in this other league over here. Maybe I can do something with him. Oh yeah, Kenyon Drake.
Yeah. Monday at 8:15. You got a whole lot of time to trade him.
Hell yeah.
Extra day.
Maybe to this guy who just got Chase Edmonds.
Oh shit. Was that a trade? For
Yeah,
Keelan
that was a
fucking
trade.
Cole?
Yeah.
He might be too smart.
He was literally like, anyone got a running back available. Then this guy's like, I got Chase Edmonds. He's a second string, but he put up 21 points last week. Sent the trade right after. Boom.
Wait. I got Chase Edmonds. So he's just like, all right, you need a running back. Come here. Just give me Keelan Cole.
Yeah, it's like, I got you, bro. It's all good.
What an exchange. He did that. I want to see like the actual time. I bet there was like 3 minutes difference. Like, anybody got a running back? Yeah, I got Chase Edmonds. Trade complete.
No,
That's
it legit was a 3-minute difference. Like, where's this fucking guy? He's 4-1, of course.
Wow, he's got Madison and Chase Edmonds. This guy's balling out. And Claypool. He's got a whole lot of chases on that team.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah, you might as well kiss the season goodbye. He's got his whole bye week could outscore all of my teams.
Like,
Wow.
so his guys are Gucci for like the next.
I don't know, if you can trade him Kenyon Drake for anybody on that team, like literally anybody, I would rather have than Kenyon Drake 1-for-1. I'd go for it.
Like, holy shit. Like, shit, just Russ is like just carrying people these days.
And he's on the board, OTB.
Yep.
On the block.
Oh, no, shit. It's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's got Gesicki, though, so it's not all roses.
Yeah, do I have Zach Ertz? I'm not sitting pretty either.
Yeah.
Shit.
You got a fullback in your tight end spot.
He just blocks and just watches everybody else make plays.
What was that? 4 catches, 9 yards, 1 catch, 6 yards. He's Kyle Juszczyk with like an easier name.
Yeah. Shit, dude. Wait till fucking
Got it.
I think
he's available. I picked him up in one of my leagues and just put him in the IR.
That's probably what I should do at some point. It's just weird to hold them both too, I guess.
Yeah, it's just tough with them too. I thought after week 1 it was like a changing of the guard, and then like one of them died, and then the other one like pseudo died by sucking.
Like, he's like, all right, there's
my time to shine. 9, 14 points, 6 points, 1 point.
I remember looking at this last week. I was like, what in the is going on?
95% of snaps, 6 targets, 1 catch.
I was like, oh shit, Carson Wentz did pretty good. Let me see who else did good.
Yeah, I think they messed up the decimal points. Not 16.0, nah, 1.6.
Fucking Fulgham, like, goddamn.
Yeah, Fulgham's your wide receiver 1. You know you're hurting in Philadelphia.
Shit. Yeah, I think that's all the teams that I have. This one's like some kind of free league with friends. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. With a team like that, you got to convince them to put some money on it. It's like, let's just throw some money in there now.
Yeah, just put something in the pot. Yeah, I traded away this guy before the news came out.
Wow, you got all that for him?
Yeah.
Attaboy B. Lumsden. I would just take JT straight up. You got both. That's quite the haul.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, who you gonna cut?
Shit, I haven't thought about it.
Say Justin Jackson, this call's over.
Nah, Keenan Allen, bro. Come on, man.
All right, guys. That's it. We're gonna get this guy the hell out of here for talking about this. Man, Keenan Allen, that's a weird look he's got going on.
Yeah, man. The whole bod look, that's how you know they're going out the door. Come on.
He's only 28, but we know how old that really is around here.
It's like 35.
At least 35. But when you're 28 with that kind of hair or like lack thereof, you're at least 40.
Yeah, who are we kidding?
Oh, shit. All right, so is that all your teams we're looking at?
Yeah, that's all the teams for it, man.
All right, dope. Well, that's it for – I think this was just roster review, was it? Or was it trade review that you posted under? I don't think it fucking matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It was like a mix shit.
Yeah, they're all going to be the same. I appreciate you coming on, Brandon. I hope it was a good experience for you. Hopefully people are still watching somehow. I'm gonna have to.
Oh yeah, no, it was a great talk, dude.
Yeah, this video might be like 2 hours long, but throw it on the podcast. Somebody's gonna listen. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you want to be a part of a roster review or trade review in the future, I know I said it earlier, but again, this is also like a fucking 4-hour long video, so you might have forgot about it. Just join our Patreon, patreon.com/BDGE. Get in Discord, get talking, and you can find your way into one of these videos in the future if you want to, which I don't blame if you don't, because I'm a fraud and I just told him to drop Kenyon Drake. So, which is actually probably good advice, but really appreciate having you on, Brandon. Hopefully you had a good time, and maybe get you on sometime in the future as well.
All right, no problem, man. Yeah, put me on the show. I'll get you some views, man.
Once you get a camera, show the
yeah,
world how
once I
pretty you are, as you claim.
my pretty face. I got longer hair than you. Not really, but
For real? Might have
no.
to duel it out. After that Keenan Allen comment and the hair slander, I don't know if you're ever coming back on.
You know what? You're right.
All right, we're about to head into part 3 with, I'm not sure the guy's name yet, but you'll see him in like 2 seconds. All right, this is the third part. I don't know if we're cutting these into 3 different videos. If we are, you're not getting an intro. Probably just going to throw them all together. It's going to be like a 2-hour long video. I don't blame you if you didn't make this far, but if you did make it this far, that means you're hearing my voice right now. We're joined by my man, also named Noah. So if you're going to tag me in the Discord channel, you're probably going to tag him by accident. But he is the third member, the third leg of this video, and we're going to be looking at some trades of his. So Noah, give us a little insight on the teams you're going into, or you can just share the screen and show us what you're working with.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share the screen. Probably be easier that way.
There's David Johnson on here. It's going to be real ugly.
no,
Adrian Peterson, the next best thing.
Yeah, so this is my this is the league. I'm 2-3 in it. Here's the team. We have 5 bench spots in this league, 2-3. I've been hurt by injuries. I've grinded. I've made a bunch of trades. This team you see right now is, I don't know if anyone on this team was originally who I drafted, honestly.
Yeah, those running backs, other than Kareem Hunt, I don't think would have been drafted.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Austin Eckler, that's rough. I hate seeing people in IR like that.
Yeah, Austin Eckler on the bench hurt me. I drafted I had Mike Thomas to start the season. He was my first round pick.
Slant Boy is his new name, I heard.
Slant King. Yeah, something like that. I shipped him away, and I shipped him for Kareem Hunt and Amari Cooper. I think after week 2 is who I traded that for.
What a deal. That's a huge win for you.
Yeah, that turned into obviously a great deal. At the time, Kareem, I think he had like 10 points each of the first 2 weeks or something like that.
Oh yeah, it was kind of ugly early on, but now he's got the reins. He's ready to run.
Yeah, I mean he did have a great week second week, and but he wasn't getting like the touches. He had 10 touches, 11 touches, or whatever there. But I needed to make it happen. I had no running backs. I drafted DeAndre Swift as my running back too.
Now you got the real Detroit running back as your RB2.
Yeah, that didn't work out for me. Grabbed Adrian Peterson. And then another trade I had made, I had Patrick Mahomes was my 3rd round pick, and which goes against everything I usually do. I never go quarterback early, but this year I was like, let's change it up. Let's just see how it goes. Drafted Mahomes, and I mean he was good. Obviously, he's Patrick Mahomes, but I needed to make something happen. I needed to grab guys, and so that's when I traded Mahomes, Deontay Johnson, and then I threw in Preston Williams for Rodgers, Fuller, and Lockett.
Oh, so you just finesse everybody in your league.
Yeah, I got great. I think that was after that was either also after week 2 or maybe after week 1 even.
Yeah, probably, because I think week 3 was the week that Lockett went off, so I doubt they would want to trade him after that.
Yeah, exactly. And then that was also this Fuller puts up a goose egg. I think that maybe that same week potentially, but yeah. So both of those trades definitely worked on my favor. I went 0-2, then I won the next 2, and then I dropped last week when Rodgers was on bye. Eckler goes down, so I don't have him. Dak goes down, so Amari has a bad week. I had Dalton Schultz as my tight end, so that also didn't work out for me.
I'm in a very similar spot to you. I had Dalton Schultz. I'm like, that guy, he's like 5 catches for 20 yards at the worst. It's like 1 catch for 3 yards. Like, all right, I guess we'll just take that from now on.
Yeah, I had Fant was my tight end, and last week obviously their game got canceled, and he was hurt anyways. So that's why I picked up a Schultz and threw him in the lineup. And then this week As I said, Fant was my tight end. I just traded away Fant for Justin Jackson, and then that's why I have Ebron. I picked up Ebron.
Yeah, I don't mind that Ebron pickup. I know last game, I think he only had one fumble, but he like legitimately fumbled the ball 3 times. One of them was overturned. Another one, he just like can't catch, so they can't call it a fumble if you can't catch.
Yeah.
But he's getting volume, and Juju Smith-Schuster seems to be kind of a dud this year, so I don't hate that pickup at all.
Exactly. I grabbed Ebron for that reason. He gets the ball. I mean, from the tight end position, outside of who was at the top 5 tight ends, like Kittle, Andrews, Kelsey.
Like John. After that, I don't give a damn about
Johnny
any other
Smith.
tight end.
Exactly. It's like after that, it's like you're hoping for like 5 to 7 points from your tight end, or they like get into the end zone somehow. Is how I view it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like after Jonnu Smith, like you look at weekly rankings, it's like Zach Ertz, who's likely going to get like 3 catches for 8 yards, and then Mike Gesicki, who could put up like 1 catch for 10 yards, which he's done basically twice so far.
Yeah. So the tight end position I wasn't too tight about, and then being able to grab Justin Jackson, even though he's on the bye week this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully he keeps, getting those starter reps, getting more touches than Kelly, and can bridge the gap until Eckler hopefully comes back, was my thinking there.
Yeah, Josh Kelly's a fraud, as we like to call him around these parts. He's real big, but he really doesn't run like he's that big. Justin Jackson looks actually like he's gained some weight this offseason, or like into the season. I know he was like listed at 195, 200 pounds. He's probably 215, 220 right now, and he's moving a lot better than what Justin Jackson or Joshua Kelly was. It was a tough matchup last week against the New Orleans Saints, but he seems to be the guy there. Honestly, looking at your team, I think going forward, you're pretty set. I mean, the Bengals defense is a little shisty this week. I guess Phillip Rivers, that's like 1 or 2 pick sixes, so I understand that. But when Justin Jackson's back, that's a perfect RB2 for you. His week-to-week schedule is really, really, as Animal would say, simple for the running back position. And then Austin Eckler, you got him on the IR coming off of a bye this week. So when he gets back healthy, you'll have him the rest of the season. Kareem Hunt also has a very easy schedule. When Nick Chubb's back, he's still going to eat. The only thing I would say about your team is probably running back depth. Like, we don't really know what Damian Harris is right now. We know what Adrian Peterson is. He's kind of like 45 years old, and his knees buckle up, and he goes for 65 yards and a touchdown every like 4 weeks. If you could explore trades with like one of your wide receivers, or even like a Ryan Tannehill, if people are desperate at quarterback, maybe package like a Lockett Tannehill for a running back, because I think your receivers as is, you have great depth and you have quality depth with Tannehill or with Tyler Lockett on your bench. I think if you can just get a better running back to pair with Kareem Hunt, especially with bye weeks and COVID happening and all the injuries, that would definitely help out your squad. Or even like a David Montgomery. He's not somebody you have to overpay for. He hasn't really produced, but his schedule is really easy coming up.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I have 4 great wide receivers. Obviously, you can only start 3 in my league. And so I've been trying to look at somehow grabbing another running back, just another RB2 to get some depth going. And I was trying to I didn't know which wide receiver would be my best bet to go, because I'm okay with giving up any of them, but like I want to get value back from it at the same time,
Yeah, I think honestly, I always like want to sell Will Fuller just because he burns you every week with his hamstring. But seeing as AJ Brown's passed his by, seeing as Tyler Lockett is going to be passed his by after this week, I think Will Fuller is somebody I tried to move just because I know it's like not smart to say like, oh, he's going to get injured, but it's probably also smart to say he's going to get injured because that's all he knows how to do. If there's one thing he knows how to do better than catch a touchdown every week, it's get injured. So I try to move him, and I think this year is kind of weird because there's a lot of running backs that are good, but people don't perceive them to be good because they're not big names, like a Myles Gaskin, like a David Montgomery, like even a James Robinson is still disrespected because the name on the back of their jersey isn't somebody you've seen the past 4 years. Yet they're getting a whole bunch of volume on offenses that want to feed them the rock. So I think you could easily flip like a Will Fuller for a Myles Gaskin, although you might be losing the trade. It means you can probably add something on top of that deal to sweeten your side of it.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. The thing
is there anything on waivers or not?
No, waivers are pretty dead, even though we only have 5 bench spots this year, which was, I don't know what we were thinking. I don't know why we imagine that being a good idea, but it has made the 5 bench spots has made it fun, but that's aside the fact. The issue, I think everyone has this issue in their league, is certain teams, certain owners are just so like not willing to make trades, or they have certain guys that they're just like, they like have such an affinity towards that they're like, they value them way higher than they need to be.
We got one guy in our league with Adam Thielen. I swear to God, he thinks he's Jerry Rice. I offered him like Terry McLaurin and James Robinson for him and like some bum running back. He's like, what, you want Thielen off of me? I'm like, yeah, but did you see what I offered you? And he's like, no, I can't give up Thielen. I'm like, all right, whatever. This isn't going to work.
Exactly. And that's like the same situation. Like you mentioned David Montgomery, and like that's definitely someone I've like thought about, but the guy who owns them actually thinks David Montgomery is like going to be like Ezekiel Elliott. Like he's just waiting for him to like be unleashed and just like
So you're
go.
playing in a league with fantasy counselor, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Right. And then guys like Myles Gaskin. I've tried the guy who owns Gaskin. I've tried making trades with him this year, and these are all friends like a home league. But the guy who owns Gaskin, his team, you ask him like for a trade, he goes, "No, those are my guys. I drafted them for a reason. We're one. We stick together." And it's like, I'm trying to make your team better here, like or like help both of us honestly, but definitely would help you. And he just doesn't want to hear it. He just like he has like it's like that with him.
I feel like people are like that all the time. Like they think that you're only offering a trade to screw them over. It's like, nah, did you see what Bill O'Brien just did this offseason? Like that could be you right now. And it's like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Right. Yeah. So that's a situation for guys like Gaskin specifically and Montgomery that you mentioned. One guy I want to get your opinion on what you think about Le'Veon Bell now, if anything at all.
Yeah, I know Nick put out a video yesterday, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't have any numbers prepared at all. I don't have any numbers prepared at all either." The thing
Right.
for me about Le'Veon Bell is you could realistically see him being the goal line back and mixed in third downs, or you could realistically see him like Le'Veon or like Leonard Fournette and just not get any valuable touches, get some run in between the 20s, and do nothing. The thing that concerns me there is the price you're going to have to pay for Le'Veon Bell just because of his name and the offense that he's now in and the fact that Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't really produced. I'd assume you'd have to send somebody like a Tyler Lockett, like a Will Fuller, like an A.J. Brown. And honestly, 1-for-1, I'm not down for that just because you see what Clyde Edwards-Helaire has done as basically the only mouth to feed in that offense. And sure, maybe he's underperformed, but it's not like he's going to be thrown to the wayside. And it's not like Le'Veon Bell is going to be the overall workhorse. I assume he gets like 10 to 12 touches a game. Maybe he has a really good one sprinkled in there and they want to give him 15 to 20 for one of those outings. But I don't know. I just think that the way that offense is built, they obviously want to throw the ball deep down the field, and their check down is just Travis Kelce. So I don't think that he's going to be some huge pass catcher in that offense. And as far as like the goal line work goes, I think they're content just having Pat Mahomes roll out and just like throw to one of his like 5 elite options rather than just running up the gut and getting stuff, because although Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't looked good on the goal line, their offensive line has been a big factor in that and like playing into that. And I don't think Le'Veon Bell's running style, being very patient, works really well with an offensive line that collapse upon the snap. So I'm not huge into buying him. I'm sure if like you can get him for like a Justin Jackson price or a Damian Harris price, go for it, because the Pats backfield is also a fucking mess. But I think he's gonna be a little bit overvalued right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking one of my wide receivers 1-for-1, but like I didn't think it was either going to be worth it, or like you said, people are going to, the owner's going to value him way too high and not be down for that just because of the value that running backs hold over wide receivers, especially this year with all injuries. The guy who owns Le'Veon, he lost Saquon this year. He has Le'Veon. He took him in the 3rd round, like maybe the worst pick of the draft. But, and also he took him in the 3rd round. David Johnson also went in the 3rd round.
Also was loaded with studs.
So, but he's short at running back, so I don't think he'd be willing to give him up unless I gave up like a running back plus wide receiver, and like the value is just not there for me at that point, was my thinking as well.
Yeah, and I think the problem that you run into with your team, not that it's a problem for you, but maybe in trades, is I feel like all of your wide receivers kind of have like stigmas about them. Like A.J. Brown just came off an injury. It's a low pass volume offense. Will Fuller with all his injuries in the past. Amari Cooper, now they have a new quarterback. Tyler Lockett is seemingly like the solidified wide receiver 2 when we thought it was me like a 1A, 1B situation there. So I think it's kind of tough to trade them and get and like recoup the value that they actually bring to the table, because I think all 4 of those guys at the very least are top 24 options week in and week out, but they might not be seen as such just because of those, like the baggage that they carry from their past.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Everyone is definitely down on my guys for one reason or another.
Rodrigo Blankenship, though, that guy's a fucking animal. Everybody that's been on this video today has like either talked about him or had him on a team, and that guy's just like the GOAT.
I've honestly gotten trade offers for him, and I turn no matter what the offer is, I have to keep him on my team. Even though he doesn't pick the ball for more than like 45, but it doesn't matter. He makes everything. I think just a side note, I think even with Andy Dalton, Amari still holds pretty holds good value. I don't think Andy Dalton, like people are way down on Dalton for I don't think any good reason other than he is a backup now. And like he's very average, of course, but he's not like a normal backup in my eyes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he was just starting quarterback last year, and we saw what he did in Cincinnati with much worse options. Tyler Boyd and AJ Green that one season that they were together for like 8 games. I think Boyd was the wide receiver 12, and AJ Green was like the wide receiver 7 or 8. I can't say AJ and say Green afterwards just because like I haven't said that name in 4 years. But you look at the offense that they have now, they should probably run the ball more, but they realistically can't. Their offensive line is deteriorated. Everybody thinks it's good just because it's Dallas. They probably can't run the ball because 1, their offensive line isn't great, and 2, their defense fucking stinks. If you give 34 points to the Giants, you can't ever say, I'm going to run the ball and chew clock, because once you go 3 and out, the other team's marching up the field and scoring. So they're going to have to keep throwing. I think Michael Gallup is still like that boom bust guy that we know because he only runs one route, and it's the DK Metcalf route, except he's 5 inches shorter and not nearly as good. CeeDee Lamb's still going to be wide open over the middle of the field because nobody wants to guard him. And then Amari Cooper is still going to see his 10 to 15 targets a game. That sounds like crazy because that's like 160 to like 200 something target pace. But it's realistic because this team just wants to throw. Like they're literally giving up 40 points a game. Like if you ever have the chance to bet the over and it's not like a million, go for it because this defense can't stop anybody. And I don't care who's behind center. Obviously, Dak Prescott is a much better quarterback, but Andy Dalton in like half a quarter threw for 100 yards last week. So I don't think that's really going to hurt this offense all too much. I think Amari Cooper is still a solid back end wide receiver 1, whereas before he was probably fringy top 5.
Right. Exactly. I was thinking about offering Amari for Le'Veon somehow, just like planning or brainstorming something. But the guy who owns Le'Veon also has CD and Gallup, and he starts. Well, he doesn't start both of them now, but like he has before.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured if I gave him like Amari, he could like run like like all 3 of them at the same time. Like it seems like unbeatable for him. You know?
I know there was like a really good stat going on. If you had Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, you're like guaranteed 5 touchdowns a week. But now that seems to have died away with the change in quarterback play.
Yeah, for sure. So I do have another team we could go over as well.
Yeah,
that team, I'll pull that one up. That team's also 2 and 3, 12 owners, half PPR redraft as well. If it ever loads.
That team you just showed me, do you think like you're competing? Like have you been really close in games or are you just getting blown out?
My losses have been bad and then my wins have been like very good. So like I scored 75 points the first 2 weeks, not combined, like 75 and a half PPR.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 2 weeks after that, I scored 150 and then 130.
Jesus.
And then last week I ended with like 89 because, Tannehill went off, but the other kid against me had 120, so it wasn't close at all.
So you're like the Michael Gallup of fantasy teams. You either just show up or put up a dud.
Yeah, exactly, right now. And the top kid right now, his team is stacked because he picked up James Robinson for cheap when everyone was like, it kind of ignored him. Jonathan Taylor obviously worked out for him with Marlon Mack going down. So, we'll see. He also has Dalvin, so if his injury is like bad, and he doesn't have Alexander Madison, so if his injury is like worse than we think it is, or he gets re-injured, like he could definitely have a fall from grace. So we'll see about him.
You can never say a running back is healthy in this league. There wasn't get hurt. I like that team name though, Connecticut Simplords.
Oh, yeah.
Are you from Connecticut?
No, this kid is though. Like,
okay.
I think he's from Connecticut. This is a league from school with a bunch of friends from school. Like I said, also 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I think my team's way better than the record shows.
I don't know. You have David Johnson on the bench, so it can't be that good. So
we haven't been hurt too bad by injuries outside of Michael Thomas, and then Julio I traded for recently, and I haven't been able to play him. Just because
he was for Julio, if you remember.
It was Kenyon Drake for Julio 1-for-1. So like
Jesus Christ, people are still buying Kenyon Drake.
That was last year, or that was not last year, before last week. It was what it was. And I was like, I'm basically my running back. I know. He everyone was like, wow, like you just stole Kenyon. I was like, he hasn't done anything like at all. And neither is Julio. To be fair, he had one good week and then has like put up some duds and just hasn't played. But
yeah, I mean, it's still Julio Jones. Like I would put my money on Julio Jones bouncing back over Kenyon Drake being like anything this year.
Exactly. So this is this team, and I think it's way better than my record shows. I got Gibson. We drafted before AP left Washington, so I got Gibson like way late, so that was a solid pickup for me. And then obviously James Robinson, Mike Davis, good waiver claims for me. And David Johnson on the bench, I got to work him in somehow. I got to figure that out. But so like my idea with this team is I have guys like Mike Thomas, and he's on bye obviously, so that's why he's on my bench. But like Mike Thomas, Julio Jones, David Johnson, all on my bench, and I feel like I could use them to like upgrade somewhere. Like Mike Davis isn't going to be Mike Davis for the rest of the year, or like grab like a more consistent number one wide receiver or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have like the same problem in one of my leagues. It's like a 16-man league, so it's a really small starting roster. It's just 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end. And at wide receiver, I have McLaurin, I have Calvin Ridley, I think, and then I also have Robbie Anderson. And then at running back, I have Ronald Jones, James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor. I'm like, well, I can only start 2 of these guys at running back and wide receiver. I got to try to upgrade, and I run into the same position as you, the problem as you, that nobody wants to fucking trade. But with this team here, like, you have names that people will want. Like Julio Jones coming off his hamstring, playing Minnesota this week. I wouldn't trade him this week because I think his value right now is as low as it's ever going to get. Even if he has a bum game, like 5 catches for 57 yards, people are going to be like, oh, it's first game back from injury. He's about to bounce back. Selling right now probably isn't the move. Michael Thomas coming off of an injury now into his bye. You don't want to sell him now. It's pretty low. But the other guys you have on your team, like an A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, even Antonio Gibson, these are guys who, I know A.J. Brown just 1 week, but these are guys who have been producing. I think you're definitely in the right mindset to package maybe like an A.J. Brown and an Antonio Gibson, or an A.J. Brown and David Johnson, and really upgrade one of your running backs. Because as you said, it's looking like Christian McCaffrey is going to be back week 8. So you have 2 more weeks out of Mike Davis, I guess, shorten it first name basis. If you want to go with Mike Davis or what I say, like Cooper Kupp and David Johnson, maybe trade it for like a Jonathan Taylor or somebody who's like been underperforming, or even like, I don't like the guy, but Joe Mixon. He's just getting volume, and his schedule really opens up towards the second half of the year. I know David Johnson's getting a lot of work too, but I just feel like the Cincinnati Bengals offense is only going up. And I guess Houston looked decent last week, but I think he has a lot more juice in his legs than whatever David Johnson has going on down there. And you can probably get another piece on top of that, just because people do believe in David Johnson, and Joe Mixon hasn't been great, but I definitely think that you're on the right track, just because your team is really solid with starters, but you're also like flush with depth, and you don't really have a position that you're weak at other than Hayden Hurst, because that guy stinks. But I respect that you paired him up with Gardner Minshew for the flow gang. So maybe you got to stick with him for the rest of the season. But maybe if you want to upgrade tight end by packaging 2 guys together, go for it. Maybe there's a Patriots fan. Maybe that Connecticut kid is a Patriots fan. He's got a good tight end. Throw him Damian Harris and something else and get a good tight end out of it. But other than that, I think this is like a really solid team top to bottom, even when Michael Davis, I keep calling him that, even when Mike Davis is no longer the starting running back.
Yeah, because I mean, once Mike Davis doesn't start anymore, I can just slot Gibson in, and then I have plenty of depth for the flex.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I've been trying to do, or been thinking about trying to work on, is getting packaging, like you said, but packaging and trying to upgrade to like a DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I always feel it's easier to package and upgrade a wide receiver than it is at running back, because once you have like a top 10 or top 5 guy, it takes so much to like pry them out of the hands of the other owner. I think honestly, for like a DeAndre Hopkins, all it would take, depending on the kid's team, maybe you want to sell A.J. Brown after this week playing against Houston, who I'm pretty sure he tore up last year. Pair up like an A.J. Brown and I guess wants to say like David Johnson, depending how that game goes and what the other guy needs. I don't think that's a far cry from a fair value for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because running back is at such a premium right now.
Yeah,
everyone's looking for like a running back too, or even like people prefer throwing running backs at flex even. So at that rate, I feel like I could really get like a top 5 guy at either running back or wide receiver.
Yeah, and if you want Hopkins, buy right now because they're about to play the Dallas Cowboys. So he's about to go for like 15 catches, 500 yards, and 10 touchdowns in 1 week.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, I know it's not a start sit video, but would you put Julio in over any of my guys? Over A.J. Brown or Cooper Kupp?
See, the thing about me is like when I see a Rams player, I just want to sit them because I don't know when to start them. And I know San Francisco's defense hasn't been great, and it's like a primetime game, and you expect a whole lot of passing and shit like that. The San Francisco wants to run. The Rams want to run. I just think that the game script for Minnesota, if Julio seems like he's going to be 100% out there, he could be a decoy, but against the Minnesota Vikings, a decoy could go for 100 yards. So I'd probably go Julio Jones over him. As far as your running backs go, even like Antonio Gibson in the flex, I think it's too good of a spot to mess with that and play Cooper Kupp over Antonio Gibson, because although like his game last week wasn't great, the defense that was on the other side of the field, the Rams, is a whole lot better than what the Giants got going on. And he still saw a lot of work in the passing game, so I'd still roll with him.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking as well. It was either Julio or Kupp. Probably go back and forth on that the rest of the week until it gets down to it.
Yeah, I feel like Kupp might be like seen as a safer option, but like if you look back to his games, I mean, he hasn't had a huge game. He had that one touchdown a few weeks back that was like 55 yards, but the whole game they're just peppering him like 5-6 yards down the field, and he scored because he broke one loose. But I just feel like that offense is so conservative right now, and especially against San Francisco, who's not going to like put up a million points on them. I think it's just going to be like just jabs all game. It's going to be like 17-14.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. He gets all those targets. I think he leads the team in targets, but it's not downfield targets, and you're relying on him to break one more or less. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Only 2 teams to go through, so.
Dope. Well, it looks like you're in a pretty good spot with both of them. Hopefully those 2 and 3s flip around. You start to win more games. Hopefully karma's on your side. And I guess that's going to be it for this long ass video. I don't know how long this is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did want to stick around and see the whole thing, if you want to be part of this, like Noah was, like Brandon was, and like Greg was in the first part, join our Patreon, patreon.com/BDGE. Any tier you join, you'll have access to get into one of these videos. You just post in the Discord. If I feel like it, or whatever order you come in, I'll DM you. I'll be like, hey, you want to come on a video? You're probably gonna be like, no, but whatever. If you want to be on, you guys get to be on like those 3 men were. I'm glad to have them on. Noah, it was great having you. It was great to meet somebody who was just as bad at fantasy as me and with the same name as me. So I know I'm not alone. But thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. Yep. And that's going to do it for the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Let's hit that outro.